Plaintiff Eric Waggenthaler met the defendant through his ex-girlfriend, and the defendant was always telling Eric about how he used to be in a rock band and often hooked up with celebrities. Eric claims he was storing some of his property at the defendant's home, but after the defendant left a pan of oil cooking on his stove, his house burned down, along with Eric's belongings, so he's suing. Defendant David Eicher says in the late 70s he was in a rock band by the name of Ram Jam, and they opened for bands such as Foreigner and Steppenwolf. David insists he has no recollection of leaving hot oil cooking on the stove on the day of the fire, and although he admits to owing Eric for his property, he disputes the value of his belongings.
Tell me what happened.
Basically, Your Honor, I met David through my ex-girlfriend. Like, he used to tell us stories of how he was, like, in a rock band and, like, his lifestyle that he used to live when he was younger, like, that he used to party and all the celebrities that he's hooked up with and, like, the kind of lifestyle he lived and just stuff like that. Well, so basically, October of last year, David's house burnt down.
This is the property damage you're suing him about?
Yes.
Allow him to give some background first.
Sure. In the late 70s, I was a recording artist in New York City, and I played, my first band was a band called Ram Jam, and they had a big hit, a golden hit called Whoa, Black Betty. And I have to say that first the African-American community had a little bit of issues with this song.
Whoa, Black Betty.
Bam Balam.
Like, watch out for Black Betty.
Yes, sir. Except it was actually written by a Cajun African-American gentleman. Okay. And his name was Leadbelly, and his real name was Leadbetter. And it was more of a crooning song, and we just sort of speeded it up a bit. And we opened for Foreigner, and we also headlined over Iron Butterfly and Steppenwolf also, too. And then I was, I don't know, would you like to see some photos of me from back then?
Let's see.
Oh, I'm sorry, here. Can you get those for me? I wish I looked like that now, and maybe that gives more credibility how I might have had some lovely company. I'm second from the right there also, too.
Yeah, I see.
Like the pose.
Ladies? Do your thumb up or down? Uh-oh, you got a lot of thumbs up? Got a few down, too.
Thank you.
All right, so that's your background. Let me hear about why you're suing him regarding property damage. I heard something about a fire.
Yeah, well, basically, I'm suing David because, unfortunately, his house burnt down.
You were living with him, obviously.
No, I was not living with him.
Tell me
I was actually staying at a place with him, his witness. We were renting a room from a friend, and I didn't have enough place to keep all my belongings, so David was kind enough to let me store things at his house.
And what happened?
Well, he had to take his mother to the hospital, and he left a pan of oil on the stove, and unfortunately his house burnt down, and along with my belongings.
Did he ever agree to pay for your belongings?
He did. I actually have a few emails.
All right.
That...
Sir, you tell me.
First of all, Eric always said that, you know, I got paid by the insurance company. And
well,
I have
first of all,
okay.
Tell me what happened. The way he described it, did that occur?
I don't know. Well, my mom was having a heart attack issue, perhaps, and I had it only on warm. And I really thought I came in and turned it off. I really did. And to this day, I don't know, but it was
You don't know what?
I don't know. I can't say whether I turned it off or not, but something happened. And and it was hot oil.
What did the fire department tell you the cause was?
The cause was that the knob on the stove was actually about a third. So what I probably did, if I was mistaken, instead of turning it off, I might have actually turned it upwards a bit.
Okay.
And with peanut oil, it will ignite pretty
And
highly.
that is negligence. The reason I'm asking this, sir, because quite frankly, if it wasn't his fault, he would not be liable. A person has to be negligent in order to be liable for the property of others. In other words, just as driving a car, a lot of folks don't know that. If someone drives your car and someone hits them, the driver whom you've loaned your car to is doing everything right. Some guy runs the light and hits the person who has your car, then the person who has your car is not liable for it because he or she was not negligent. So that's what I'm saying is the issue here. is whether he was negligent. And now we hear that he was negligent, so he does owe for your things. And what is your defense, sir?
I never disagreed with him that I did. Obviously, he brought things in there. And I said, please send me a list of these damaged things. And he emailed me on MySpace this, if I might show you this.
Please.
Now, this is the original email, and you see that the price is heavily inflated and that the bed was actually a Sealy Posturepedic, a plush ultra, very expensive bed. I asked him, according to what he said. I asked him, I said, okay, you spent that much for a bed. Go to the place where you bought it, which is a national thing, and get me a receipt for it because they'll have one for you. And he didn't do it. I asked him a couple times in certified mails, and so I finally went and got a receipt. And indeed, the receipt I got for it, it turns out to be a bed that was only $300. And he got the frame for free. He's still charging me $89, and I also got a statement from the manager who manages all 4 of those that said that he identified from the photos, which I have, the bed that was damaged. I also have photos of the bed that Eric said was the bed, and I have a blow-up if you'd like to see it too.
He's on his job. I hope you have. I hope you have something over there.
He said that Eric was very upset when he found out about the bed that I was in there and got the correct receipt. And
now, this is which bed?
That is the bed that Eric said he had.
Okay.
To be honest, sir, at first, he told me to pad the list. The bed was the one thing that I padded because I had the receipt for my bed, too. If I was going to sue him, why would I bring the correct receipt?
This is very easy. Let me see the receipt.
I brought the correct receipt for the true bed because at first he told me to pad the list, Your Honor. Why would I bring?
Your witness wants
Why
to
would
speak?
I like to?
It's going to be very easy. He's bringing me the receipt for the actual purchase of the bed. Sir, what do you want to tell me?
Well, when I first met Eric, one of the things that he kind of bragged about when he was talking about his bed, he said how good his bed is, that he spent about $1,300, $1,400 on it. So that pretty much proves that he wasn't told to pad the list. He had always stated that the bed was $1,300.
That doesn't prove a thing. This is what proves everything. And sir,
may I see that if
what does
possible?
this say you paid for it, sir?
It says I paid around, I think, $300 or $400, sir.
And how
Your
much
Honor,
are you asking for it today?
The $300, $400, Your Honor.
Okay.
Because, like I said, Honor, the first time
No, he thought you were asking how much?
The original, he was asking $1,300 and something.
He told me to pad the list the first time. And
why would
so,
I possibly? This is what really ticks me off. Why would I have almost 6 figures of contents. Now, why? And I have to prove to my insurance company with photos, about 60,000 photos, including all of his damaged things, which are right here. Why would I possibly want to jeopardize what my insurance would want to do by telling him to pad the list? Because I cannot do it.
Go to jail for fraud. That's essentially
exactly.
what you
So
would be
why should I
risking.
want to?
For $900 more.
I can't believe he brought that up because he presented 36 items to me, and in fact, he said they were all burned up, and they weren't. There's proof right there. I told him.
What wasn't burned up on here, sir?
No.
You showed me what wasn't burned up. Let's start with this.
Totally destroyed.
Let's start with this one.
Oh, they were unwearable, but they're he said they were totally
Was that
destroyed.
burned up, sir? He said they were unwearable, but you shouldn't have to pay for them. Was this burned up, sir?
I asked.
Those are all the pictures of the damage. Now, which of those pictures indicate that his items weren't burned?
None of them. I asked him to provide me what they were in there because
No, sir, you just told me all his things weren't burned. Every picture that you gave me, it was completely burned. And then you admit that it was unwearable. So if it was unwearable, then you have to pay for them.
Yes, but there's no receipts or no proof on them. He said that they were totally burned up completely. Obviously, they weren't totally completely burned up. But I said,
yes, they are.
They were not there. They were totally disintegrated.
Sir, if a home burns all the way to the ground,
yes.
The smoke alone, sir, has ruined the man's
Yes,
clothing. All right, judgment for the plaintiff, sir. All his things were destroyed, and it was because of your negligence, sir. And I'm granting him the actual amount, not the amount that you say he inflated for your purpose of defrauding the insurance company. Have a good day. Judgments are returned.